Some people are very weird. Like, I've met people who I'm talking and they just talk about themselves. Like, I meet somebody and, it's meant to be a talk about me, talk about you, get to know each other, and it's all about themselves. And you sit there and think, I don't think I can be friends with this person. We have a good time. So we chit chat. We might even hang out for the period of time I'm in this environment. After that, because all you did is talk about yourself. You're self-centered. You're self-absorbed. Or you might have a friend that is just, you tell them things and they just tell you what to do. Like, I've met people like that. They're just bossy, bruv. They don't know you. They say, like, imagine I meet somebody and then she is amazing. We just really click. And then what happens is she sees my YouTube and then she goes, you know what? I think you should do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And that might be amazing feedback, but I don't know you. Slow down. Like, she just starts telling me what I think you should do. Talk like this, talk like that. I'm like, can I be friends with that person? So we're going to talk about friendship and, you are unfriendable. You are unfriendable. What do I mean by that? I want to play a video of a person who I think I want to just, review it.
There's nothing that triggers me more than when I see a female on a podcast talking about, oh, don't trust her if she doesn't have friends. A girl that doesn't have friends is a red flag. I'm sorry that your relationships, work out well for you, but this is real life. I don't know about y'all ladies. Please comment your horror stories in the comment section below. But with my experience with friends, if I would have told you guys what every single one of my friends did, bitches I thought that was really my friends, what they did to me, every single one of you guys will be in tears.
Going to play the rest of the clip. Just want to talk about that. So she's triggered by the fact that some people believe if they meet a person, they say, I've not got no friends. That's a red flag. And that triggers her. And that's the issue. It shouldn't trigger you. Because if your situation is completely different, there are some friends, there are some human beings, we're talking about girls, right? There are some female friends who they are the issue. So when they don't have friends and they tell you and you meet them that, oh, I have no friends, that is a red flag. Personally, why would that trigger you? I don't know, but I get why it triggers. Sometimes certain things make you go, it's not always like that. So she's basically saying that all her friends, because towards the end, she mentioned that she's got maybe a very small circle of friends, because this is the issue that I don't get. Is it all your friends, every single friend, at each level from young to old as an adult, or majority of your friends? I think we've got to be specific now, because if it's all your friends, to me, that says a lot about you. It may not be your fault. You might be the unlucky person who is such a lovely person, such a kind-hearted person, and you just attracted really nasty people, right? And there are, you know what? Let me be very honest. In my life, as a human being, I think there is a level of complicitness in that. You can't be innocent in that. If every single friend, bruv, what's going on? But I digress. I'm going too fast. That is a dynamic that could be true for many people. Many people genuinely feel that they are lovely and they are great, and they're not that they're perfect. Maybe they've even made mistakes, but they don't think they deserve what their friends have done to them. And it's caused them enough trauma to make them really suspicious, maybe even paranoid, or just unwilling to make, especially female friends. Again, the same way we talk about romantic relationships, if somebody said every guy, every girl has done this to me, I would be like, but what have you done? You chose them. You decided you're an adult. There are friends that precede adulthood, that you are friends out of obligation, out of loyalty, just because you've always been friends, and then they do things. But there are friends as adults that you choose. Again, what is the context? Are these friends that you made at 5 years old that you thought you'll be, ride on shine, and then unfortunately life occurs, and then you see who they truly are as adults? Is it friends that you have selected, you've sieved out, and you've still chosen wrong? We have to take some responsibility, right? We have to take some responsibility, because I don't believe as an adult, as an adult being, you can say that every single friend that you chose to be friends with all did you wrong, and you have a part to play in the fact that you chose them. I'm not saying blaming her for the things they did wrong, please, because people can do something to you, whether you're close to them or not close to them. That is true. That is not what I am talking about. What I'm talking about, you chose to be friends with them. Are you saying that every single one of your friends was a magician and they showed you, they created an illusion that you was not aware of until the time that they betrayed you? Or was it you saw amber flags, you saw red flags, but you gave them excuses, you allowed it because of your relationship? Is it that you ignored what they did to others and thought you were different? See, these are the conversations I would have as a therapist, because I don't believe in total blame in a situation where it's happened more than 3 times. You have to learn again. Is it that you were a circle of friends? Maybe like, let's say there's a group of 5 of you, so you including 4 other girls, and you guys were besties from school. And you were that friend, you were the mother of the group, you were the lover of the group, like you were the kind-hearted one, right? And there's always been issues between all the other friends and they've done manners to each other, but you guys always come back together. And then one day, each person, not one day, but over a period of time, each person does you wrong to such a degree that it shakes you as a person. It shakes your reality, because you're like, you guys were meant to be my co-Ds for life. In that situation, I get, because those are situations that preceded adulthood. You chose them when you were children. You don't always have the best track record as children. You know, we can choose people that we like at the moment, but they grow up into two different people. We know that people from young still remain friends, but a lot of people don't. You know, I haven't got friends that I was close to in primary school that I'm friends to this day. So it doesn't always happen like that. You know, different camps, different groups, different things happen. That is first. See, and the reason why I'm like this, because you have to understand, do not believe these these pseudo or faux therapists with no training that will just take a clip and then just give the analysis without saying there must be nuance. When you do therapy, you recognize the nuance, because like I'm saying to you, in that situation, that context, by all means, I can't even sit here and say, what did you do? Right. But I'm talking, there's also friendships that you have made as adults. There's friendships that even if they preceded adulthood, preceded age 18 or age 21, wherever you are in the world, right? You saw things and you chose to ignore it because, and it makes sense, but you ignored it because of the history, because of the love. We've met people, or we know people, or you could be that person who you've got a friend who is nasty to everybody, and then you just think you're different. I'm going to give you a true example. When I was studying my psychotherapy degree, right, there was a girl who I was cool with, and she fell out with a lot of people in the class, right? I didn't think our relationship was different. But because I addressed it with her, I didn't like how she was with everyone else. But me and her were cool. It wasn't like me and her were cool. It was like me and her were cool. I'm cool with everybody else. I think I liked her because we both had the same kind of outlook in terms of the course, where it was just like all of this. Yeah, we had a similar outlook of the course that I liked. But even her and I, we weren't close in that way. And I didn't talk about the other people she talked about. I didn't say nothing. She ranted. I would try to see a different side, but I could tell that she wasn't the most teachable, and she was quite stubborn. When we fell out, and I said I was surprised and shocked at how she did me. Not that I was surprised and shocked because she did this. Like, it probably was gonna happen. It was inevitable it was gonna happen. I just think the way she did it was shocking. Like, the fact that I thought that us having a relationship might mediate the level of visceral she was towards me. So it wasn't my naivety to think that I would be any different. It was just me hoping that we could still not be. I didn't care us not talking. Just the way she was towards me, her vindictiveness is what I thought, right. Whether being friends or not didn't stop her from being really nasty. Do you see what I mean? When she don't like you, she's nasty. Right? Now, I'm giving that example to just say that there are some people genuinely that believe you see how they are to everybody else. They've done all their friends wrong, but for some reason you think it's different. Then you find out it ain't different, and it hurts because you believe the delusion. And it's just how human beings are. These are things that just happen. Not all, but many people, you may be the person that has done that. So this is where I would say, then you're part to blame. As an adult, right? Maybe I am the minority, right? And maybe, God forbid, it will happen. But I can't see any of my friends betray me because I've chosen well. But that doesn't mean that things still can't happen, because somebody can change. Life can hit somebody to the bottom. You can have friends all we're doing okay, we're doing well for themselves. Then they just go through a series of unfortunate events and they become envious because they're just really frustrated. Maybe for the next 2-3 years, they just ain't got no money. They constantly feel that they can't attend all the events. That same friend that was a loving, caring friend can become bitter. can start showing signs of envy because life has dealt them a bad hand, and they don't overcome that. Their character does not propel them to overcome their circumstances. So I also say that because I've seen that. I've seen, people have long-term friendship for 20, 30 years, and life hits one of them to a degree they don't get over, and it affects the relationship. They are no longer the loving, caring, genuine friendship. Things start to come up. Sometimes friendships don't deal with issues, especially when you're younger. You don't know how to, and they remain buried. And when things trigger in adulthood, you start bringing things from 10 years ago, and now you're sitting there thinking, right, you had all of this, so you're still angry about that time I took your dress. Yeah, you always take the man. You could be in a friendship with somebody who gets all the attention. Yeah, your friend is beautiful beyond dreams. When you go out, like, you were never seen, you were never considered, and then maybe one day you meet this amazing man who's good looking, who you're even shocked that, but they like you, and your friend loves you and wants you to be happy, but is not used to that. They're just not used to you getting attention. And they meet a guy that they also find attractive, and they're just surprised that he likes you. None of they think you're not beautiful. They're just because if you're always in that dynamic, it gets to a point where the girl is used to always being seen and noticed. And what then happens is that your friend may act a certain way, and then that can break a relationship. You might say, oh, see, you've always been jealous of me. You've never wanted me to be like, no. I have just gotten into a pattern where I'm just used to getting the attention. You now get it. I want you to get it. But it's hard for me because I'm just not used to this. But we don't talk like that. What ends up happening is that things will be said. Maybe she tries to speak to your guy, or maybe she doesn't even know that he's fully on you. So she just assumes that he must like me. She does something with the guy, like tries to kiss him, and then you see it and you get so angry thinking, oh my God, you've always been jealous of me. When it's like, well, not really. She had no reason to be jealous of you. Maybe it's the first time and she doesn't know how to deal with that. See, I'm saying all of these things to say that relationships are so nuanced, but because we don't spend time to talk about them, we don't go to friends therapy, we don't speak about them, a situation that can be resolved and say, look, girl, I love you and you were so beautiful. I've always believed that. But I think this is the first time that I've not gotten attention. And I didn't even know you liked me like that. I didn't know he even liked you. So I thought, right, he's around because he obviously likes me. That's what I'm used to. I never want you to make me feel like that. Maybe that can be resolved and it can be moved on, but that doesn't always happen like that. Yeah. So let's go back into the video. But I wanted to share that because I wanted to just say that if I met somebody who told me that they don't have good friends, I would want to understand why. I would ask them questions, not because I'm just a therapist, but because I'm a therapist. I would even ask, have you gone therapy? Because I would want to know, same way in a relationship, like, how did you get to the point where you have chosen all of these friends and they've done you wrong? How? Were you blinded? Were you so... Because I find people that say they're so loving, they've got a big heart. They're usually, I don't know. Honestly, there are people, when you meet somebody who's got a big and loving heart who can take advantage of, you know what that looks like. Some of these people that say that I'm loving, I've got a good heart. I'm like, bruv, you don't look like it though. You look like those, you look bad. Hang up with it. Sounds bad, but you do not look like that type of person. I'm not saying it has a look, but it has a feel. You meet somebody who is just so loving. They come into your house, they say, oh, do you need help? That's a loving friend. So that's someone who gives of themselves. They're like, oh my, I might say, oh my gosh, my car broke down. Girl, and where are you? Some of these people, I think they believe they are loving and caring and all of this stuff, but they're not. And then when they get done by and they get hurt, they're that, oh my God, it reinforces I get used and I got taken advantage of. How are you used and taken advantage of? Like, but how? How? That is the question of the situation that I want to know. How?
I had every single horrible friend you could think of. And for my mental health, for my mental peace, for me to live my soft life, I made a decision to not have friends. I say all of that to say this. It is not a red flag when a woman does not have friends. Have you ever thought that she has so much friendship trauma that she just rather be to herself? Don't get me wrong. There are females out there that do not have friends because they don't know how to be friends. Some of them are really fake, really, really fake. And that's why they don't have friends. But then you have people like me who have good hearts and are really, really good friends. But we have been dealt a bad hand when it comes to friendships. So now it makes us kind of turned off from having friends. But don't get it twisted. I know how to be a friend. Bitches just never knew how to be a friend to me. And I'm the type of person that I'm never the type of person that I keep people in my circle just for the sake of having friends. Nah, stand on that. If you fake, stand on that. One thing about me, I can be alone. I could be single. I can have no friends. I'm good with that. I'm not gonna have people in my life just to have them, to fill in the void of me not feeling lonely. I don't care about that. I'm the type of person, I'd rather 4 quarters than 100 pennies. That's just the type of person I am. So let's really stop this narrative, because it's not, it really triggers me. That's not the case for.
Yeah, she's right. It's not the case for everyone, but it's the case for some. Like, why should I? If that's a red flag to somebody, it's a red flag to them. You can't tell them that can't be a red flag. What? Who are you to say what's a red flag to some and not to others? You see what I mean? You might think it's a red flag to meet a person who's got bare friends. Like, I actually think if I met somebody who told me they got 10 best friends, that's a red flag to me. If I met somebody who told me, I don't know, like I don't have extreme relationships like that. So I have to think about things that I see on TV or I've heard wild stories. I have decent, good, solid friends. One of my friends even told me that she's a bit envious that I have like good friends. If I meet a friend and she tells me she's a jealous friend, or I meet a friend who tells me like I don't like to share my friends, yeah, I find that a bit of a red flag, but it's because of how I am. It's not necessarily so. It's a context. I might think it's a red flag until you speak to me and you explain why you think that way. Then it may not even be a flag at all. Right? But we have flags because they guide us. Red is like, don't go there. Don't go there. Oh, go there. Oh, stop. Go there. That's the whole point of a flag, is that they tell you to stop, consider, wait, reflect, rather than you just go in full force. Then you say you get hurt and then go, oh my God. It's like when people see this is where you see, yeah. I watched Perfect Match, and there's this guy who called Dom, and he dated Francesca in the show, and then supposedly like he now is quite savage. Like, I don't feel sorry for him. I'm so sorry. This to me shows you need therapy, because okay, maybe I don't feel sorry for him as Ngozi the person, but I feel sorry for him as Ngozi the therapist. Yeah, as the person, I kind of feel like, how can I put it? Let me be very honest with you. Yeah, prior to even going therapy and stuff, I didn't have these certain narratives. I just don't find like, I'm just so typical. I'm a good person, but they're not good to me. If you are good, to me, this sounds, if you are good, having a good heart doesn't mean you're good at selecting friends. You might have a good heart, but crappy tentacles. You got to get that sorted out. What it shows me is that unconsciously you're reinforcing a narrative that makes you come out looking good and your friends coming bad, because I don't understand why a good person can't meet good people. I'm not denying that good people meet horrible people. That's just the world. That's just the way it is. But when you realize that the reality is that I've come across not nice people, I move away from that. Very, very few times I get in a position to be betrayed. I've had issues with friends, and I have issues, friendships that have broken up. And it's not, I don't like it, but I haven't said betrayal for, bruv, betrayal. How it can't get that deep. Even when I talk about friendships that I've mentioned in the previous podcast, it's because I didn't like the way we ended. And maybe, it's not like some deep situation, because I've been able to pick well from a young age. When I was young, no. Primary school, secondary school, no. They taught me. Primary school and secondary school taught me what friendship was and isn't. Probably why I've chosen well since then. Not that every single friend has lasted and every single friend has been fully beneficial, but every single friend, to be fair, whether we talk now or don't talk, has impacted my life positively. And I'm happy about that. And anyone that I didn't think would impact my life, I didn't become friends. I've actually turned down friendships. Somebody asked me to be their friend. I said, no, I can't be your friend. I don't think you don't trust me, so I can't be a friend with somebody who does not trust me. If you think I'm a liar, you told me that I'm a liar, then you tell me 6 months later you want to be my friend. How can we be friends if you think I'm a liar? That's the point that I'm trying to make. We can't be friends if that is the case. So the woman that is talking, I'm so sorry you went through that. I will have to ask you, can you explain more? Like, if you ever saw this, could you explain more, please? Because I need to understand the nuances of the friendship. What do you mean? Are these adult friends? Are these friendships that predated adulthood, which is a group of friends that all knew each other and knew you? Or these separate, disparate friends? Where do you take responsibility in this, in the selection of them, in the ignoring of red flags? Why are you so cut off to people now? Because if you know what a good friend is, then you will be able to find it eventually. I don't mean you can just find a good friend. No, again, the same way it's hard to find significant relationships, it could also be hard to find good friends, because you might find a good friend who is a really good friend but hasn't got time for you because they've got other good friends that they're. The reality is, I've met amazing friends, but we can't be as close as maybe we'd like to each other because we've got our own priorities. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I've got an amazing friend. I love her. If she sees this, I need to even message her, email her, because she just disappears from the face of the earth. So I could argue, say she's not a good friend. She's not been a friend to me because she's disappeared, but she's probably going through something. But because of the way I love her and the way our friendship was, I will ride for her. If I have to wait 5 years for her to return and be like, babes, what's going on? Like, what is happening? What is going on? Right? That's the love that I have for her and she has for me. But whatever she's going through right now, she just can't be what she can be to me, and I can't be to her because we can't communicate. Her phone is always going, like, I don't know. So. But let me be very truthful. There is a lot of people. I think she's the minority. The minority of people who end up having really bad friends, I think is usually people are bad friends, because the same people that were bad to you probably also they probably feel that they were in the right. Same way I talked about the betrayer and the mother. That's another video that I just did about friendships of betrayal friendships, right? There are people that will betray you and believe that they are right, and will say that they are good, they are kind-hearted. Cheaters think they're kind-hearted. Murderers think they're kind-hearted. So this is where you got to say, when someone tells me I'm a kind-hearted person, I don't believe that until I see it, because you could be the one that did them all wrong. Like, you could be the one that did them all wrong. But maybe you did it 10 years ago and you think you've moved on, and then now they get you back. And obviously that doesn't make it right. But I'm just trying to say that there's context. There's a whole context that we need to know about this. So I think it's easy to say, I think she's triggered because she's triggered. She can be triggered. I will still say it. If you haven't got any friends, I wouldn't say it's a red flag. I would say it's a pause. It's a pause for caution. I need to ask myself, what does this mean and why? I need to ask you why. Like, my first question would be like, okay, why? When you say friends, you mean like you have no friends at all? Or you mean that you had a group of friends that you're no longer friends, you're trying to build? Like, where do you mean? Where are you in that? Have you got social anxiety? Because let me be very honest here. Some people are very weird. Like, I've met people who I'm talking and they just talk about themselves. Like, I meet somebody and, it's meant to be a talk about me, talk about you, get to know each other, and it's all about themselves. And you sit there and think, I don't think I can be friends with this person. We have a good time. So we chit chat. We might even hang out for the period of time I'm in this environment. After that, because all you did is talk about yourself. You're self-centered. You're self-absorbed. Or you might have a friend that is just, you tell them things and they just tell you what to do. Like, I've met people like that. They're just bossy, bruv. They don't know you. They say, like, imagine I meet somebody and then she is amazing. We just really click. And then what happens is she sees my YouTube and then she goes, you know what? I think you should do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And that might be amazing feedback, but I don't know you. Slow down. Like, she just starts telling me what I think you should do. Talk like this, talk like that. I'm like, can I be friends with that person? Because for me, maybe this is where I am. I kind of think it's about discretion. I don't mind being told. Like, I like feedback, so I'll take the feedback. If it's good feedback and it's valuable, maybe she's got a really big YouTube, but it will make me feel that you know better. Because why did you think it was okay for you to just tell me about how I improve without maybe me asking, saying, girl, like, you're so good with your YouTube. Can you just give me some advice? Boom, I've given you an opening. I've only known you for 2 days and you're already telling me about, X, Y, Z. Or how did the conversation come about? Was it like an organic conversation, or you just thought, I want to tell you about your YouTube? Or we're talking about business, I'm talking about my struggles. And I may not ask you, that is the context in which where you can then say your opinion. The reason why I'm saying all of this is because, again, some people are not self-aware. So what will happen? Let's just say I was in a situation with somebody like that, right? who I met. We were getting really close, and then without asking or without the context, just started to tell me what I should do, what I shouldn't do, and then I take it, and then I don't know, maybe the next time I wear an outfit, why do you wear that outfit? You shouldn't be wearing that outfit. Your skin complexion, dark skin. You should da. Maybe a third time she does the same thing again, right? And I can't even take this anymore. Maybe I tell them, maybe I don't tell them. Then they start saying on their YouTube channel, I met a girl, and I was so there for her. I didn't even have to, when people ask me about my YouTube, I don't have to give you the secrets, but I wanted to. I saw in you me from before, right? That could be the narrative that she will go and talk to her friend or say it on YouTube, for example. This has not been done. This has not happened. I'm just giving you an example of when you see people come on their platforms and say things that they are the victim, that they were just a good person, right? Not knowing the context is my girl inserted herself for no reason. But she's not going to tell it to her audience because she doesn't think that. She genuinely thinks that she was given unsolicited advice that was wanted or needed, or the way she gave it, she felt she did it well, rather she could work on her delivery. This is why I mean that watching that clip, to me, again, makes me wonder, are you the issue? Because you've portrayed yourself as I don't know. Again, you've only had 2 minutes, so maybe this was just her saying, don't assume that every single person hasn't got any friends is because they are bad. It could be the other way around. So maybe she would do another video that would say, okay, you know what, but I've also made mistakes, but I don't think I deserve what my friends did to me, own up to my mistakes, maybe. But she didn't do that in this video. So in this video, it just comes across that you are so good and you're so mad. How do I know you're good? I mean, what do you define as good? What do you define as good? Because there's many people that are good that have done some mad up stuff to their friends and you tell me that you're a good friend. Or maybe you did that and you say, oh, that was my past. I've changed. Okay, what, 1 year, 5 months ago, 3 months ago? We have to be very careful, these clips that we see on social media, and go on her side and say, yeah, it's true. You might relate with that because, again, there are lots of people that feel and believe they did nothing wrong and all their friends are evil. So there are some people who are the issue, but will never see the issue. That's the reason why I'm saying that doesn't mean anything to me, because I have spoken to people, I've worked with people who are an issue. They can't see the issue. They project their issues on everybody else, and you are the issue when they are the issue. And they will never believe they're an issue. There are friends who have narcissistic traits. So if you've got a friend that has those type of traits, narcissistic traits, we all have traits, right? Some have more, some have less. Some have a little bit more. Those that have a little bit more will never think they're wrong. So that could be the person talking in the video. I'm not saying she is. I'm saying that could be that person. She could genuinely felt that she's an amazing friend. Maybe she smothered her friends to death. Maybe she's a covert narcissist. Maybe anything. Maybe she genuinely was a victim of her circumstances. That's what I'm saying. You just don't know. Don't take a word for it. She needs to sit down and break it down. She doesn't need to, but if she did, it would make it easier to understand the context and then say, okay, you know what, from what you're saying is right. Because I'm not the type of person that's like wrong, but maybe no, if you're wrong, you're wrong. But I cannot make a judgment. I cannot make a judgment on this when she has not come out to say nor explain the context of these so-called friends. Okay, well, that is episode 28, the unfriendable. Are you an unfriendable? Because you need to be a friendable. Maybe I can talk about what is a good friend. I think I've talked about that, but I'll talk about it using a trigger. Those that are listening, I'm sorry, but I hope you heard the audio. Yeah. So those that listen, just jump onto YouTube to see the clip. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, you can't see it, we can hear it, but there's nothing to see. It was just hearing her voice. As long as you can hear her voice, hear the points that she made, I hear my review and feedback from it, it's all good. So I shall catch you in the next video. Like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I shall see you soon.